I think I'm on. Okay. Let's do... Okay. Just need to lo-fi, I guess. Yeah, we can do it that way. I think. I hope this works. Okay. And we can switch to the first scene. Hello! Oh, I'm online. I think. Yes, I am. One sec. Hold on. I think we're good. Okay. Yeah. Alright. There's a huge delay on YouTube, it looks like. But that's okay. We're just gonna do what we can do at this point. Okay. Anyways, not too sure how this is gonna work. Oh, you're good? Oh, sweet. Thanks, Beer. Really appreciate it. How you doing, Beer? Hopefully you're doing well. You can join the general chat if you want. But yeah. Essentially, yeah, I'm just going to, I'm just gonna do a little bit of coding. And we're gonna learn from essentially zero. That's the idea, at least. You can definitely come in and learn at the same time as me. Just because, I don't know, I felt like I wanted to do something that's kind of like more. I'm okay with you, buddy. Pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now that the, what do you call it? That what do you call them? The delay is like real. The delay is really bad. Yeah, like I think you're on minute 3 probably of watching me. And I think we're already on like minute 7, which is the weird part. Yeah, I'm just wondering. Can you hear the music? Hold on. Wondering. Now I'm just curious. I'm just very curious now. Oh, I have a dog. There's a dog upstairs somewhere. I can hear like the footprints, the foot scatters. Okay, anyways. Okay. No, you don't hear music. Okay. So, maybe I need to figure that out. 1 second. Oh, it's like really quiet. Okay. I'll have to raise this to the top. Let me raise it up higher. I don't want it to be like too loud. So I think this will be just fine. What's the dog doing? I don't know. The dog doing some weird stuff. But anyways. Okay. Anyways. So we're gonna get back into this proper now. Yeah, so this is Codecademy. I'm gonna use that first, and then I'm gonna play with some other ones. There's also like solo learn, which I'm kind of interested in. Yeah, the solo learn is actually pretty decent. I've explored a little bit of that, which is kind of fun. But I do want to do Codecademy because it's just a little bit more. I think like it was like the first thing I learned from. And I definitely want to try and do a little bit more of that. Anyways, this comes from like me going on vacation and coming back with like, I want to just do something more like, you know, specific towards me and not just having a good time playing video games. I'm gonna be right back. Some just water. I'm just gonna bring the whole thing. I'm gonna bring the whole thing. You know, it's an Asper channel. All right. Multiple things in this channel, in this deal. Okay. So, anyways, I'm gonna probably just sink, you know, an hour, half an hour into the lessons, and then we can sort of go from there. But anyways, yeah, Codecademy. We're gonna get with Codecademy, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do my home. We're gonna do the courses. I don't have Pro, so I mean whatever. But what we can do first is actually, Beard, did you want to learn one thing or the other, or does it really matter for you, or does you want me to just kind of go first? Just kind of learn whatever I want to learn. It's up to you. We can do the free courses, obviously, so we don't have to pay for anything. So yeah, so like there's HTML. This one's actually not bad, HTML. Very beginner friendly. Or there's JavaScript. JavaScript's a little bit more, it's a little, I think it doesn't matter to you. Okay, how's about this? We'll do the HTML stuff first. Because HTML is basically how you get to a website. That's how you learn your website stuff, essentially, right? You learn how to make a website. You learn how to make, like this is like the simplest stuff, right? Essentially. So, essentially, yeah, lots of like, when you try to code, lots of headers and stuff like that. I know this is kind of like weird in a way because like at the end of the day, HTML is almost like, when you have like super like awesome websites that like deal with like Wix and stuff like that, like it sort of just makes it for you. Or they have like their own coders, and they kind of like, you can do drag and drops and stuff like that, which is kind of neat. But at the same time though, you know, you want to understand when you press F, is it F12? Yeah, like when you press F12, you get like all these little like things on the side of your screen, right? And you want to make sure that you kind of understand it all, right? So not that it has to happen, but it's all good. Anyways, so introductions to HTML. So lots of communities have been started with HTML. It's a skeleton for all web pages. Essentially, it's the first language learned by developers, marketers, and designers and is core front-end development work. So essentially, front-end means that it's like in your, like if anything that the customer sees or anything that the person sees, it's like right in front, right front and center. I know a little bit of what's going on, which is nice, but like this is the first time touching code. This is what's going to happen here. So what is HTML? HTML provides a structure for content appearing to the website, such as images, text, or videos. Right-click on the internet page and choose Inspect, and you'll see HTML panel on the screen. So yeah, if you essentially do Inspect, you can see like everything here means something, right? That's the neat part. Everything here means it goes into something or it leads into something else. That's part of, you know, the website. So what some people have done is all they've done is like they want to make their website look kind of like this. So what they do is they don't know anything about the whole thing just yet, but they'll copy and paste all this, right? And then they transfer it onto like an empty console, right? And then what they'll do is they'll start playing around with it and seeing what kind of things that they want to change, and it kind of like makes it what they want to do. It's a little bit like excuse me. It's a little bit stupid. Not stupid. It's just it's an interesting way of learning, right? Because it's kind of messy and you really don't know what's going on until you kind of learn a little more of the details, and then you go, oh, okay. And I've had a friend who did that one time. Essentially, like they wanted to make it look like a certain thing, so they copied and pasted, and then they just try to find keywords to replace and key numbers to remove, so that they have different colors and different different texts. So it's kind of weird. But anyways, I know I'm talking a lot. So essentially, yeah, HTML is the structure for the content, such as that, blah, blah, blah. It means HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Markup language is a computer language that defines the structure and presentation of the raw text. HTML is the computer that can interpret the raw text into HTML elements. Hypertext is text displayed on a computer or device that provides access to other text through links known as hyperlinks. So basically, you know, the links when you click in to get in, basically, to do stuff. Basically, learning HTML is first step in creating websites, and at the end of the day, we want to create a website so that we can learn and, you know, make cool websites for other people and maybe get paid to make websites for other people, right? So first, what we're going to do is in the code editor, we're going to look at the header ones, right? And type your name between that. So in my case, it's Mikey Maddox. And then we press run. And then there we go, right there. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. We have Mikey Maddox as a header. So it's pretty sweet. So we're already essentially, this is my website. So this is where my markup language is, right? So I can add in my second line and I can do more and more. So if I kept on opening up H1 or H2 maybe, as I remember, H2, I can go yo, and I can do and close H2, header 2, sorry. Bam, blammo, and then there you go. You have my second header with the words yo right underneath the first line. So there you are. Essentially, you got something kind of sitting there. Oh yeah, Beer, are you gonna join on the voice chat? Let me know. Yeah, and then you can kind of learn along. Live almost. This is like right now you're learning semi-live. Now you're learning live. Okay. So, which program? Okay, so how do I become a web developer? I think like at the end of the day, we want to learn how to become a web developer. Oh, okay, maybe not do that. But essentially, you want to learn how to become a web developer. Excuse me. Oh my God, I have a very bad voice right now. Yeah. The skills really is learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Once you learn these three, you can do quite a few things, and you just need a little bit of imaginations, and there you go. You're basically running with that. I believe this will teach you how to do stuff, essentially. I think this will teach you how to make an actual website from scratch, which is really nice. Which is really neat. Yeah, so it's pretty sweet. HTML anatomy. So essentially, so they got elements, right? This is an element right here. So what is this? This is a whole deal, an element. Here is the content itself. So this is what I want people to see. Opening tag, closing tag. So within these, this is the I guess this paragraph. I guess that's the deal of that. So basically you have an element name. So you name the element with the open and close brackets, and then that's all it really is. So I mean, it's all, honestly, at the end of the day, it's a simple. That's not simple, but it's understanding that when you're looking at the most of the stuff, right? You can actually see right there, what is open and what is closed. So you can see some container class stuff, lots of little open and closes and stuff like that, which is kind of neat, and then some footers, and then lots of script of whatever this stuff is. This could be extra stuff from different parts of the element, but everything here is an element here essentially. Every line item is almost like a little element. Oops. Yeah, so I can actually open up the different types of stuff. But anyways, this is like super advanced, which I don't really care for right now. Okay, so next we're going to now figure out stuff from the body. I feel like this is like a little bit old, but that's okay. HTML. I think this is like HTML. Like, I don't know. We'll see. This is like old HTML. People are gonna be like, "Why are you learning this like old HTML stuff for?" And I'll be like, "I don't know, man. I don't know, bro." Oh wait, hold on. Let's see here. So the body. So we're gonna figure out what the body looks like. So add a body to your web page using the body element. So I'll be doing that, and then I'll do a close body, and then I'll do a paragraph, open paragraph, then close, and then, oh wait, hold on. It just wants me to do the one thing first. Okay, one second, hold on. I think we can run that. There we go. So we run. So far, you have nothing on the screen just because the body stuff is like whatever. The system doesn't see that until I add something in. So now what they want me to add in is a simple line, which is life is very short and what we have to do must be done in the now. Andre Lord. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna bloop. We're gonna do P. And then we're gonna say life is very short and what we have to do must be done in the now. And then we'll close that quote. And then it's by Andre Lorde. And then we'll do a close to the P. What should happen is, there you go, Andre Lord's little quote here is now shown. So if I actually wanted to, I can add a header 1. And header 1 could be a sweet quote. And then I can actually do a close. Actually, I can't do that because that's part of a thing. You can't just do that. Okay, we'll just do that. It's fine. We'll just do a close. Bup. Yeah, I can run that. There you go. Yeah, sweet quote. And then we can write it like that, which is pretty sweet. Hopefully it's following. You guys are following along to this. Yeah, I just want to make sure. Yeah, so hopefully you're doing well on your side there. If there's something confusing, let me know. Or if there's something that you're not doing or that you are doing, let me know as well. So now we're going to learn a little bit more about the structure itself. So the cool part about this is that there is a family tree type of stuff, right? So if you can see that by this time you should kind of figure out now how the structure sort of works, which is really neat. That there is like an H, like there's like, you can like put headings and stuff like that, right? So like this first part's a heading, which is H1, right? So this notes the first part of the heading. The P is the paragraph. So you can put smaller headings, right? So heading 2 and say the smaller, I mean, you can consider it like a smaller version of this world, right? And then when you run that, it's like you have a smaller version of that. Like it's not as big, right? This text is huge, but like this is not. This is still big. This is still important, and it's bolded, but it's not as like large. So you know this is the second part of the heading, and then this is a paragraph, right? Yeah. So there is a family tree element to this whole thing, right? Which is kind of neat. So we place the p tags within the body of the element containing an element. It is considered the child of that element. So this is basically the child of this particular deal right here, of this body. In the example above, he's nested inside the body element. Yeah, so the new concept now is the word nested. So nested means, it really just means that it's within a thing, right? So all this is technically nested between the body element here. And this body is the parent, and then these are the child nodes, the child paragraphs, if that makes any sense. You can also see what we added: 2 spaces, indentation, and spacebar for readability. Yeah, so sometimes a lot of these things, they're not like, they're kind of like that, right? Like, and like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's more just like, if you want to be more organized, and coding is a lot about organization, you want to use like these extra little bits to like double spaces to sort of denote that, you know, there are extra things, or there's extra things that are being nestled inside, right? Okay, so since there are multiple levels of nesting, this analogy can be extended to grandchildren and great-grandchildren and beyond. So like there's great, and so this is main, child, grandchild. Then there's like a great-grandchild if you really want to keep on going like that, if you want to go down that kind of deal. So let's see here. So both the children of the div element, because we're the same level. Okay, yeah, so so I guess they want it to be the same level. That's fine. But they are the great-grandchildren of the body element. Considered in the hierarchy, it's important because child elements inherit the behavior and styling of their parent element. You'll see more when we start digging into CSS. So CSS is going to be something that we're going to be doing a little bit later on, maybe. Hopefully, if we can finish off this first, that'd be great. We'll just do that. Okay, so what we're going to do first. Add the paragraph below as a child of the div element. So this div element has been opened up for us. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in the next paragraph here. So paragraph P, we're going to open that up. This paragraph is a child of the div element and a grandchild of the body element. And then we're gonna close her off right there. I'm gonna press run, and then there you go. So you can see that there is a separation between these two items here, and div is now a whole thing now here. Oops, I messed up that. There we go. There. There we go. So essentially, yeah, we did that. Great. So now we understand a little bit more about what's happening here. All right. Headings. So yes, as I said before, these are the headings. We can switch this to P4, let's just say. And it'll show like smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Yeah, so you can go, I think, so it looks like there's up to 6. Yeah, so different headings for different things. Lots of great things you can do with headings, obviously, and you can be very you can organize. That's the most important part. Organization. Now that you know the HTML structure elements, we'll spend the rest of the lesson building an informational website using some of the most common HTML elements. We put some elements in to get you started, but you'll write the rest of the page on your own. Below the H3 heading that says features, add an H2 that says habitat. Okay. So below the H3 heading that says features, oops. Okay, I should switch this back to H3. That's kind of my fault there. Okay. Oh. Okay, we'll run this back. And then we're gonna make, under features, we're gonna make a heading H2 that says habitat. And then we'll do a closure of H2 right there. Right, so we'll run that. There we go. So we get that checked off. So essentially that's what it should look like. H3 underneath H3, H2 habitat. So what I would probably do is that. So double space on that, double space on that, double space on that, double space on that. There we go. Yeah, so it looks a little bit more, what's we're looking for? Organized, a little bit cleaner, possibly, right? Yeah, because all about brown bears. So, or actually, I might go back to there we go. Yeah, there we go. So there's some semblance of deal here, of order here. So what we have now is essentially the brown bear. We know about them, the species and features of that brown bear, now where it lives. Essentially, this is the beginning of a Wikipedia page. That's all we to be honest, this is what we got. Very, small deal on like what a Wikipedia page would look like. Below habitat, heading at H3, heading that says countries with large brown bear populations. Okay, so we'll go with 1, 2, and then we're gonna go H3, close bracket, and we're gonna say countries with large brown bear, oh my god, I can't spell, populations. And then we'll do a close, H3 close. There we go, we're gonna press the run button, and now there you go. We have now the habitat and in the countries with large brown bear population. There we go, change that up. Next, on the next line, add one more H3 heading that says countries with small brown bear populations. Okay, so we'll do one more deal. We're gonna do H3, we're gonna close that bracket, and you're gonna say countries with small brown bear populations. And then we're gonna close H3 right there. Bam. So we're gonna run that. There you go. So underneath the H3s, you can put your paragraphs, your P paragraphs right there. And then finally in the next line, add an H2 heading that says media. Okay, so essentially we're gonna add in like a thing that says media, and then later on I think what they're gonna try and make us do is they're gonna try and make us do like the CSS thing, and CSS will allow us to do like add in a video or whatever. Yeah, I remember like this would teach you how to make an Airbnb website, which is like super cool. Yeah, that was kind of neat back then. I think now they might have changed it, so they're just like making sure that we don't, you know, making sure that we don't like learn too much. I don't know. All right, so divs, the div element. Okay, one of the most popular elements in HTML is the div element. It's short for division, or a container that divides pages into sections. Useful for grouping elements into your HTML together. So, you know, and when we inspected from before, lots of divided items here, as you can clearly see, right? Yeah, lots of divided stuff. That word appears a lot. That's cool. No worries, no worries, no worries. Okay. So yeah, so they're basically very useful for custom styles. So essentially you're just separating things out. So we can also style div elements as a whole. So you can see that. Okay, so again, the CSS course that we'll have later on, we'll try and figure that out later on for that. And then we can make it look a little bit more appealing, not just black and white text, essentially. So below the H1 heading that says the brown bear, add an opening div tag, then place closing tag after the HES's features. So we're gonna separate, excuse me, we're gonna separate this part. So we're gonna do a open bracket div, and we're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I think what's going to happen here is we're going to close the div. Yeah, we'll close div right there. Remember to use your spacebar to add 2 spaces indentation when you nest elements. Yes, we've done that. So I would probably do it like that. Oh, but then, oh, it ends after features. Okay, my bad. So like that, I guess. I think they want what they want. They want me to do like this, I think. No, did you create a div element that starts after the H1 element? Oh, wait, after, whoops. Whoopsies. Yeah, you gotta pay close attention to this stuff. So I think after the element, after the H1 element, so kind of like, I think kind of like that maybe. I think that's what they want me to do. And end after the H3 header features. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay. So that's what they wanted me to do. So they wanted me to have the header on its own and then divide this part out to have its own little thing as well. Yeah, so above the H2 element that says habitat, add the opening div tag, and then close after the small brown bear population stuff. Okay, so this would be the next dividing item. So I'll do another div here, and then I'm gonna put in another closing div here. And then finally, above the H2, add an opening div. Okay, so they want me to put a final div here. Lots of dividing lines. Lots and lots of dividing lines, which is fine. It's what it's all about. You gotta do that. So there you go. Boom. There. All three are done. So yours should look something like this. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, Beer, you're following along. Hopefully, everything's making sense so far. Yeah, what these guys are kind of trying to get at is definitely learning how to do, like how to like understand the language and understand how to like put things together and make things organized. Because if you can't organize things properly, everything's going to be like everywhere. If you want to expand the elements tag, we can do so using an attribute. Attributes are content added to the opening tag of an element and can be used in several different ways, from providing information to changing styling. Attributes are made up of two parts: the name of the attribute and the value of the attribute. Yeah, so essentially we can name things and add things to it. When we add an ID to a div, we place the following opening tag. Div. So you basically edit the div deal here, right? And then you do ID and equals intro. So we're gonna add the ID attribute. So we're gonna name the item here. Essentially, that's what we're doing. We're naming the introduction, right? So we're naming this division item here. So add an ID attribute with the value introduction to the div tag below the big brown bear H1 heading. So essentially we go to line number 3. So 1, 2, 3, we're gonna add in div, and we're gonna do ID equals, and then we're gonna do a quote, introduction to that quote, and we can run that, and that should be fine. There we go. Add an ID attribute to the value habitat to the opening habitats. So we go to the habitat one, so we go to line number 8, because we did div for that one already. We already worked on the first few bits, and now we're going to do the second bit, which is div. And we're going to do ID equals open bracket. We're going to do habitat. Okay, I'm going to run that. Boom, there we go. So now we have habitat as like a secondary divider ID right there. And finally, we're going to do an ID for media. So we'll go to line number 13, and we're going to do the exact same thing. There we go. There we go. So now our HTML code is starting to look a little bit more, set up, which is really nice. It's starting to look a little more, it's looking more professional, which is really nice, right? And again, we are starting to make a lot of nice changes to our web page. Okay, so next, display text. If you want to display text in HTML, you can use the paragraph or span. Paragraphs P, so that's the P function. That's what that P item's for. Contains a block of plain text. Span contains short pieces of text or other HTML. They are used to separate small pieces of content that are on the same lines of other content. Right, so essentially, excuse me, in our particular, in this particular item here, you have technology. So technology would be up here, and then a dividing line out to say that self-driving cars are anticipated to replace up to 2 million jobs over the next 2 decades. That's ridiculous right there. That's crazy. But anyways, the example, the second div contains P, span has elements different from something of the text. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. So essentially, we're learning this is what we're learning. We're learning the part where, essentially how to like get like a paragraph set up, and having the span thing here. The span, like, it's like. It's like separation almost, right? That's kind of what you're looking for. I mean, we'll get into this and you sort of see what's happening here, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do, I think we're gonna learn, element says about brown bears. We're gonna add a P element, a paragraph element, and then we're gonna add in all this extra stuff here. So let's just sort of get things started. So we can do that. Actually, we're gonna do 2 spaces, and we're gonna do a P element, so the paragraph element opening, and then we're gonna do this. We're just gonna copy and paste because I'm not writing all that. I'm lazy. Boom. And then we're gonna do a close. We're gonna close that paragraph off. Yeah, that should work. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so now we have a paragraph for about brown bears. Nice. Cool. And then now what we're going to learn, or what we're going to continue on, is we're going to add in another item here that says below the H3 element that says features, add a paragraph of the following texts. So we're going to now learn without, I guess, before they added the P element thing, now they don't mention it, so it's kind of like, figure it out on your own. And you're like, I am. I'm gonna be clever, and I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna get this paragraph element. I'm gonna totally do it. 1 second. Boom and boom. I'm gonna add this paragraph here, and then we'll just close that off right there. We're gonna run that. We'll run that bad boy. Boom, there we go. Features are all there. Okay, and finally, number 3, under the H3 element that says countries with small brown bear populations, we're gonna add in the paragraph with the following text. So we're gonna add in right here, 1, 2 space, open paragraph, close paragraph, and we're gonna boop all this stuff here. We're gonna copy. So we're gonna go to Control C, Control V, and we're gonna close her up. There we go. Boom. Right there. That's all we got. So now we actually have some sweet text to go with the sweet headings that we have right now so far. Yeah. So yeah, this stuff starts to grow really quick. That's the crazy part about this. I'm not too sure how many. One second here. I can't go back. 1 sec. I don't know. Anyways, okay, screw it. Forget it. Let's just continue on for a little bit longer, and we'll see what happens here. You can also style text using HTML tags. The EM tag emphasizes text, while the strong tag highlights important text. So this is all about getting like bolds and italics and stuff like that. So essentially, this is just teaching you how to like make bold and italics. That's all it really is. EM will render italic emphasis. Strong will do bold emphasis. And you basically just you put things in the sentence as you see fit here. So like in this case, they put the Nile River with strong. So you can see here now the Nile River is all bolded, and then the longest is now, because they put EM now, it's like italicized, right? So what they probably want us to do now is they want us to put some emphasis on certain things. So the first part is, in the first paragraph, this is brown bear, emphasize Ursus arctos. So right here, we're gonna put a open bracket EM, and then we're gonna close this bracket out. There we go. Bam. Now we have italicized. And then the brown bear. Make the words least concern strong. Okay. About brown bears. Is least concern. There you go. Okay, so we're gonna put in strong, and we're gonna close out strong. There we go. Run that baby. There you go. Now you can see that there says least concern is bolded out properly. Oh, using the strong in the paragraph under make the words least concern. Using the strong tag. I did use the strong tag. Maybe I shouldn't have done that part. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. It's being picky with the word with the what do you call it? The capitalization. It's being very picky. It's being stupid picky. Okay. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much.
What, you just dropping by to say hi?
Yeah, I'm dropping by to say hi. How are you?
Nice. Cool. Are you following along on my YouTube channel?
I don't think so. I only check in on your Twitch every once in a while, to be honest.
Oh, I'm live right now on YouTube actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm
Hi.
learning how to code from the ground up. That's what I got a couple people. I got one person actually. I got Beer sitting with me on the text page, learning how to code. So essentially, if you want to learn how to code, you can jump into my stream and you can learn what we're doing right now.
Well,
Literally step by step. We're just gonna be doing this for like the next like 15-20 minutes or so, and then we're switching over to an actual game and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Is there like a specific game that you want to play later on, or?
I don't have a whole lot of games.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, I think we can play quite a few different games if you have some. Yeah, there's also a lot of free games that you can play as well, right? So it's up to you. Like for example, Fall Guys. Fall Guys is free, and you can play that. I've been playing Fall Guys a little bit more recently, just because it's a fun game to play, and it's free, and it's like friendly. It's friendly, so it doesn't we don't get all pissed off at each other sometimes when we play something else. Yes, hopefully you're doing well today.
Oh, I wasn't aware you were live.
Yeah, it's all good. Don't worry about it. It's all good. So let me see here. So yes, going back to this again. If you want to see what we're doing, you can totally jump into the YouTube.
I'm on the live right now. I'm looking at it.
Oh, sweet. Okay, there we go. Hopefully it's looking good. But yeah. So we can actually do a quick recap on what we just did, because we actually built all this. We actually built all this right away, right here. Just learning a few lines of code right now. So essentially, we're learning HTML, how to build the actual how to build websites and stuff like that. So if you ever wanted to build a website, or if you wanted to learn how to build a website, this is it right here. Essentially, we've learned how to put in. We learned what these little red lines are all about. So essentially, HTML is really all about understanding how to organize your tags, right? So once you learn tags, so for example, the body tag, now we know that the body is the entire paragraph right here, the entire website itself right here almost, right? And then if you put H1, right? H1 essentially, H1, H2, H3, these are your headings that you can put, okay? So for example, when we put H1, open and close bracket, obviously, the brown bear, and then we do that slash to close off that tag, we actually have the brown bear, which is our heading number 1. And then if we put in a p tag, which means paragraph, we can actually put in things like paragraphs. So apparently we're kind of building a small Wikipedia page right now of what a brown bear looks like, which is kind of interesting. So yeah, and we can add in extra things like, for example, EM as a tag to surround certain things. Oops, no, shouldn't do that. To surround certain words, and we can actually make them a italic item here. Or if we put the word strong, you can actually make it bold instead. So there you go. So yeah, and we've also learned how to make little DIVs, which is basically divisions, which makes little areas that we can sort of separate things out so that it looks a little bit more clean on our code. So now we have a fairly clean code, in my opinion, that talks about the brown bear and what it's all about, which is really neat. If you also want to follow along, it is Codecademy. It's free. It's all free. So we're using the free version of Codecademy to learn how to code. We are going to get into more like crazier coding things like JavaScript and stuff like that, and that's if you want to learn that as well. And this is definitely more for understanding, and you want to learn, and you want to make sure that you're if you want to in the future, if you want to start coding, working for yourself and stuff like that, you can say you've done it, and you can have a project to say that you've done it. So yeah. At this point, we're learning about line breaks. So essentially, it's spacing in between the HTML, right? So it's morely just if you're modifying the spacing of the browser. So basically, everything here looks fairly compact, right? Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Wait, what happened here? My feed doesn't really give me anything. It just does stuff. I'm not too sure what happened. But something happened. Thank you, whatever happened. I need to figure out my system a little bit more. My Streamlabs is... Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. My what's it called? My Streamlabs is like so rudimentary right now. I need to start adding a couple more things after. I'm so sorry. But I do appreciate you following and subscribing. I appreciate that. Yeah. Let's see here. So line break. Yes. So essentially, this kind of looks all together. We can actually break that into different pieces as I remember. With the BR, it looks like. Yeah. So you can do. Yeah. So this is the code right here. This is their example code. The Nile River is the longest river. And then they did the line break in the world, measuring over blah 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 blah. Right, so because they did that, now it's like little bite-sized paragraphs instead of these long, you're going from one side to the other, blah blah blah. Right, you can actually make it shorter, and they've done studies where it's apparently what happens here is that if you shorten it to kind of your phone screen kind of deal, right, where it's short and sweet and to the point, sort of short little bursts of lines. You can actually read a lot faster, and you can get a lot more information in your head for some reason, and it doesn't seem like it's a whole daunting thing of reading little long paragraphs and stuff like that. Anyways, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna add this. We're gonna actually add this into our HTML. So what happens here is we're gonna add in 2 line breaks. So we're going to do add 2 line breaks BR after the sentence that ends with least concern. So we're going to find the least concern right here, and then we're going to add in a line break. So we're going to use the BR. So we're going to do BR, and then we're going to close that BR. And then I think we can do one more line break. I think that's what they want me to do. We'll see. It may or may not be the case. I might be wrong, but that's okay because we're learning. There we go. Yeah, so we do two BRs. So an open bracket BR and then a closed bracket BR. And then one more after that. So now we have, as you can see, a really big space in between the first sentence and then a secondary sentence. As to before, where it wasn't like that, it was kind of all jumbled, not jumbled, but it was all like together. So if I were to run this again, you can see that like it was literally like the first sentence and then it moves to the second sentence right away, right? But what we can do is we can do these two line breaks, right? And then the sentence right here is going to immediately move down to like a thing, right? And if we want to add in like a picture, that's where we learn CSS, and we can learn later on how to put a picture or some kind of media in there. That'd be really neat, right? Or a GIF. Okay. So yeah, we just added a line break. So we just learned how to make sure that we can kind of make things look a little bit better for our system here. Oh, okay. So maybe we kind of do that there. BR. Okay. We did big breaks. They did small breaks. That's fine. An unordered list. What time is it right now? We're almost at the hour? Okay. Unordered lists. So in addition to organizing a text paragraph, you can also display content that's easy to read list. So essentially, yeah, it basically just like making a small list of what we need to do. So in our case, they wanted to make a taco, and the list is lime, tortilla, and chicken. So they just added in that as a tag. So the UL is the unordered list. UL, so U unordered, L being list. And then they put in LI, which is the list item. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add in some list. We're gonna add in some listings. Under the heading species, create an unordered list. Okay, do not add any list items in the list just yet. Okay, so we're gonna go to species. We're gonna go find, where's the species? Right here, line number 6. And then we're gonna add in 2 lines. And we're gonna add in unordered list, close that off, and then we're gonna also add in again. We're gonna close that off because that's what they kind of want us to do, it looks like, just to be clean. Okay, and then now we're gonna add in 1, 2, 3, 4 different items in that list. So we're gonna now do list item li, close that, and we're gonna say Arctus, and we're gonna do close li. We're gonna do another open li, and then we're gonna do Colorus, close that li, and then we'll just do another one. Horribilis. I think it's more along the lines of they just want us to do a repetition. The repetition is important because repetition is how you kind of learn the language, essentially. Because if you don't learn the language properly, it's always going to be a pain in the butt later on, and that's how you learn a language. Unfortunately, you can't learn a language right away without repeating yourself a couple 100,000 times. There we go. So we've added in the 4. There we go. So now we have species, and we added in the 4 dots right there. There you go. Nice. Okay. And then now there's ordered lists. So it has to be, now you can see that there's like 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you put the OL tag, so ordered lists, that's how you do it now. So now essentially what we're gonna do is we're gonna add in this extra bit And we're gonna kind of continue from there. I think what we're gonna do is we'll learn, I think maybe 1 or 2 more steps, and then we'll take it from there. We'll close off and we'll play some games. Yeah, I think that would be the coolest thing to do right now. Okay. Oh, Moon's gone. Okay, that's okay. No problem. It's all good. It was nice to have her in. Let's see here. So what we're gonna do is the category shouldn't have been gaming for this thing. The category should have been education. Maybe that's my fault. That's maybe I should have figured that part out. Oh well. I had made a mistake. Okay, anyways. So what we'll do is we're gonna make a heading that says countries with large bear populations. Okay, so we're gonna add it in here. 2 spaces. We're gonna do an OL, so for ordered list, and then we're gonna close that off with a close OL right there. And then we're gonna add in a list item. We're gonna add in Russia. Close that item. We're gonna do another one. We're gonna do United States. And we're gonna do close, LI. And then finally we're gonna do LI, close, Canada, and then we'll do close LI. There we go, boom. And if I press run, there you go. Here's your ordered list. Russia, United States, and Canada. There we go. That's it. Cool. Images. Okay, so you know what? This is gonna be our last thing we'll do today. We're gonna add an image. We're gonna add an image of a bear. Sweet. Okay. So we're gonna add an image of the bear. Okay. All the elements you've learned so far is paragraph, lists, headings, spans. Share one thing in common. They're all composed entirely of text. Now we want to add in extra content to the web page that isn't composed of like images. The image tag allows you to add an image to the web page. Most elements require both opening and closing tags, but the image tag itself is a self-closing tag. Note that the ending of the image tag has a / self-closing tags must include or omit the final /. Both will render properly. Okay, so the image tag has a required attribute called SRC. Sorry. The SRC attribute must be set to the image's source. So that's the source, SRC source, or the location of the image. In this case, the value of the SRC must be uniform resource locator URL image. So in this case, you have to, like you're referring essentially to like you're almost referring to like a separate part of like you're referring to a second part of something else. In our case, it's a JPEG image that's stored somewhere on another web page somewhere else. So a lot of referencing items right now that we're looking at. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add in this image deal. Okay. So under the media H2 heading, add an image using the URL source code for the image. So what we're going to do now is we're going to boop that in. We're going to add in 2 things. We're going to do image. And then we're going to do SRC equals open bracket. And we're going to add in our, oh, what the heck? Oh, no. There we go. We're going to add in that. And then we're going to close it like that. So remember, it's a self-closing, it's a self-contained little line item here. It's number 29. So we're gonna do that. And what should happen is there's a bear! Bam! There we go, guys. A little brown bear face, a little cutie pie right there. And yeah, so far we have a somewhat functioning site that you can actually show people. In our case, kind of like a Wikipedia page with a picture of a bear. Yeah. Image alts. Okay, so maybe we can do that after. Yeah, we'll do that after. All right. Yeah, we're. Oh dang, we're so close. Holy crap! Nice. You know what? Let's just finish it. Let's just finish HTML. And with the review, let's just do that. Might as well, since we're here. Yeah, since we're so close to finishing, let's just finish this off, and then we'll call it a day. Image alts. Part of being an exceptional web developer is making sure your site is accessible to users of all backgrounds. In order to make the website more inclusive, we need to consider what happens when assistive technologies such as screen readers come across image tags. The alt attribute, which means alternative text, brings meaning to the images to a site. So the alt attribute can be added to the image, just like the src attribute. The value of alt should be description of the image. So so essentially what we're going to do is we're going to add in like a description of what this picture is, right? So add alt attribute. Okay, so give me 1 second here. So we're going to have to figure out how this is going to work. Should be description of the image. Oh, I see. So it should be like in here somewhere, I think. So we can do alt equals, and then we could do like, I'm assuming a brown bear. I'm assuming. Yeah, there you go. So now, like, if you are a person that needs assistive reading, so it'll read all this stuff, and then it'll do so it'll do an image of a brown bear. Yeah, so now it has a picture, and then the alt will give it a description of some sort. It'll be like a picture of a brown bear. I don't know. I'm not very good with the alt stuff, so. This is just for assistive, for sure. And now we're going to add a video. So video basically is same thing as your image, right? So instead of IMG, you're just putting video, and then you're putting all that extra stuff in. And then we're also going to put in the element of how big the video can be as well. Oh, interesting. Okay, this is interesting. Is hosted along a web page, the URL, host file, another web page. Yeah, so basically a lot of like hosting on hosting, right? So if you go to some other websites where they're like YouTube, essentially, in a way, YouTube, has the ability where you can like add other videos to other things, and this is basically what they're trying to do with that, right? If you know what the video is, if the video is stored somewhere specific, you can add, and it has that like width and height sort of thing with the controls, which is really cool. So essentially, yeah. So essentially, we're gonna add this in right now. Oof. Okay. So we're gonna try and do this. Okay. Under the image, create a video tag. So we're gonna add a video tag. So we're gonna do video. We're gonna open up the video tag, and it's gonna have the source equals open bracket, and we're gonna add in the MP4 here. So that's the content. Bam. and then we're gonna close it. We're gonna close the video. Right? Yeah. I think that's how that's supposed to work. Oh no. It's a self. Is it self-closing? Oh no, it needs an opening and closing tag. Okay, so this needs to be a closed tag. Okay, so we can learn how to close. Okay, we're gonna close this. We're gonna close this off like that. There we go. I think that's how you want me to do it. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so this video's. There you go. There's a video right there. Sort of. That's not really a. You can't play it because we don't have the ability to play it just yet. So we're gonna have to define that with the width and height. So we're gonna do that right now. So we're gonna go back to this a little bit here. We're gonna do width and height and then controls. There you go. So we're gonna go back to this for a second. We're gonna go width. It equals 320, and then height equals 240, and then we're to controls. Bam. So now we added controls for this bear vid. Simple stuff. There you go. Now we can get the bear moving, finally. Look at that. Look at that bear go. Sweet. All right. And, oh, I didn't put the, okay, I should do that. One sec. There we go. There we go. There we go. Did you include video and support in the video tag? Oh, okay. And then we gotta finally put the, in between that, we gotta put video not supported. Okay, so we gotta do that. We gotta do that still. So we'll do, video not supported. Yeah, so if this ever gets cut for some reason, then video not supported will come out and it'll be fine. Bam. Done. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is the review. That's it. All right. So essentially, we just learned structure, guys. Yeah. So what we just done was we just made a very, very, very simple version of a website. This technically can be, you know, published and people can look at it and stuff like that. So essentially this is, again, I think this is, they're trying to do like a Wikipedia sort of deal, right? So this is now like a Wikipedia deal. Yeah, that's it. Up next, what brings you to Codecademy? Change my career, learn for fun. Not sure yet. I don't know. Whatever, it's all good. Pro quiz, no, skip for now. Yeah, I don't have pro. I'm not gonna, you know, learn pro just yet. That's something very different. So what we've done is we've learned this introduction to HTML, which is the fun part. HTML's document standard. So this is the next kind of step, I think. We'll learn the standard stuff, the standards for that, and then we'll. Oh, we get to make a fashion blog in Pro? Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. Oh, good, we can learn tables, forms, and semantic HTML. Interesting. Okay, I like that, All right, guys, so, I mean, today we learned quite a bit, I think, in my opinion. Yeah, so we'll go through this next time again, and we'll learn more about it. And, yeah. Thank you so much. I'm switching over to Twitch to play games. We'll see you guys there. Goodbye.